So come onto your belly into crocodile pose. So just rest your head on your arms and extend the legs back out away from you, hips grounded into the mat, and just allow your body to connect with the mat beneath you. Connect with the space, notice how you feel, and maybe notice where you're feeling any tension. And let gravity do the work as we just take a few intentional breaths here. Inhale and exhale, allowing the shoulders to relax, hips to relax, the front bones of the hips pressing into the mat beneath you, tops of the feet. Inhale and your exhale, controlling the breath, noticing any tension. Breathing in and breathing out. Now slowly from here bring yourself up into tabletop position, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. And we're just going to bring that right leg across, so right knee to your right ankle, extend that left leg back into pigeon pose, and if it feels good, come down onto the elbows, interlace the fingers, or just let the fingers and the head hang heavy here. Now you might want a prop for your head or two, or you might need a prop underneath your right hip. So just take a moment to ease into this posture and allow your breath to be steady and even. I'll just leave you for a moment for you to focus on your breath as you're breathing in and breathing out. And then slowly deepen the breath, acknowledging to your brain that you're about to move, pressing the hands into the mat to lift you up, and then slowly releasing that right leg all the way back and come back into child's pose, balasana. You might want a prop for your head and just let the elbows release onto the mat beneath you. And just take a few breaths here. And then we'll set up for the other side. So slowly pressing your hands back into the mat to lift you up, coming forward on your mat and bring your left knee to your left wrist. Move that foot over to the right and extend your right leg back. You might want a block for your left buttock. And bring your head down, elbows down, onto your blocks or block, or you may be able to reach the ground beneath you. And you're going to stay here for a few breaths. And slowly start to deepen the breath, encouraging your body to move. You might want to wiggle your fingers press yourself up slowly, removing any props and drawing that left leg all the way back to bring you into child's pose. Block for your head if you need it, and just keep those elbows relaxed. You might want to widen the legs now, so knees either side of the mat for a wide-legged child's pose, and relax. And then slowly bring yourself up and come to face the front on your mat. You might want a couple of blocks underneath your seat for this. I'm going to come into garland pose. So just crouch down onto your block with your seat on your block, palms together, pressing the elbows into the knees and your feet is extended wide. And then you're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Notice how this feels. You might want to close your eyes, pushing the elbows against the knees and the knees against the elbows. Now if you want more, bring that right foot underneath you, extending that left leg out, using your left arm to press against the thigh, or prayer pose. Try the other side. Notice any difference in your right side to your left. Elbow against knee, hands in prayer. And just remove your blocks, and we're just going to come back over to tabletop. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, and then bring those elbows down onto the floor and just draw your belly back into your spine here, and just notice how this action feels as we're drawing the mat away from us. Then I want you to gather two blocks, and I want you to bring your right foot to the outside of your blocks. So we're just coming here into a lunge, and now I want you to try and see if you can bring your palms to the blocks and see how that feels. Pressing your palms into the blocks, releasing any tension in the left hip. Now can you see if you can bring your elbows onto the blocks, interlace the fingers and drop the head. Try and see if you can tuck the back toes and lift the knee off the mat. Lizard pose variation. So really pressing that right hip back in space. Don't forget to breathe. Well done. Drop the knee. And then we are going to just use something else with the block. So move one block over to your foot. Pop your right foot on top of the block. Press your palms down. And then notice how this feels for your hip. Might want to come up onto your knuckles if that feels better. Maybe tuck that back toe, lift the knee off the mat, keep that leg straight. So just play around with this pose, see what works for you and your legs and your arms. Knee down and bring that right leg back in space. Come back to tabletop. Wiggle the hips from side to side, releasing any tension. Come back down on your elbows. And we'll come back to the other side now. So bring your left foot forward now with your hands on your blocks. And start to come forward in your left hip. So knee over ankle. And then pop your elbows onto the blocks. Now you want to make sure that that knee, your left knee, isn't moving away from your midline. So draw into the midline of your body. If it feels good, tuck the back toes and lift the knee up. Don't forget to breathe. Drawing that left hip back. Notice where you're feeling the tension and release the knee down. Well done. Scoot that left foot out, move the block and pick up your foot onto the block. And then we'll repeat on the other side. So you might want your knuckles or your hands on the ground coming forward, so knee tracking that ankle. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee up, drawing those hips back and in alignment. Taking the hands flat to the floor if that feels good. And dropping the head so your neck is in line with your spine. Drop the knee, bring your left foot off the block, and slowly bring yourself all the way back into an extended child's pose. Maybe use a block for your head. Your hips might be quite heavy. I'll just take a few breaths here. So we're going to come into a few twists now, so start to deepen the breath and then bring yourself up to seated. So if you come onto your bottom facing the front of your mat, and we'll start with our right leg. So extend the left and draw the right knee in towards you. And then take your right elbow on the inside of your right knee, left palm down behind you, and turn to your left. Flex the left toes and breathe. Release. And we'll do the other side. Left leg comes in. Left elbow on the inside of your left knee, right arm behind, pressing down and round. So strengthen the spine. Lift the spine up before you twist. Keep that right foot flexed, so toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And breathe. And we're going to come down onto our backs into banana pose. So take your feet over to the left side of your mat. You might want to just bump your hips over to the right slightly. So then you want to take right ankle over left. And then you want to take your right arm up above and grab, if you can, your right wrist with your left hand. Now you might need a prop for your left arm. You can see I've just got a blanket under mine. If it's still feeling too much, just hold your elbows if that stretch is too much. And if you're experiencing tingling in your sensation in your shoulders, then just plant your feet on the ground with your knees bent. So once you've got your variation, just take a few breaths here. So banana pose is really good for opening up the heart, especially when the arms are stretched over our head. And then release, come back to the center, bump your hips over to the left, right leg down, left leg over. And then you want to just take your arms up above your head and grab onto your right wrist with your left hand, or grab your elbows. Breathing into the muscles that weave in and out of your rib cage, your intercostal muscles. This really helps to improve your breathing and gives your lungs a really good cleanse. So just continue your breathing. Enjoying that inhale and exhale as you're in this gentle twist. And then release, come back to the midline and just bring your knees into your chest, rock from side to side. And then open the legs slightly and grab onto your shins, your calves, back of the thighs, or the bottom of your feet for happy baby pose. This is a great pose to release the hamstrings and open up the hips, drawing the knees down towards the ground, flexing the feet. Maybe giving the feet a little massage. You might want to rock from side to side, releasing any tension in the jaw, in the opening of the chest, and the hips. A few more breaths. If you suffer from sleep problems, this is a brilliant posture to do before bed, or if you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep. Release the legs back down to the floor, and then we're going to set up for Shavasana. So grab what you need. You might want something nice and propped up for the back of your head or your shoulders and your neck. Grab a nice blanket, and you might want a eye mask, eye pillow, whatever you need that makes you feel comfortable. And then just part the legs slightly so the legs are wide as the mat. Palms facing up, and just let the feet relax. And I'm just going to leave you now to listen to the music and relax, allowing the breath to be natural. And once you've finished this practice, to hear the music end, just come back up in your own time. Namaste.